All right, you guys, we are back online. Not sure what just happened. Hopefully that you guys will see this message and tune right back in with us. And so we do apologize for the technical difficulties on that. Just out of nowhere, it just kind of just glitched out on us and it cut the broadcast off completely. So what we're going to do is see if we can't get back online here, and let us know if you guys can hear us loud and clear.
Please.
Hopefully that you guys can. And right now we're having some issues on the Living More with the Morgans page, so we're going to trash that and we're going to come in and share that page from my Landa Jeray Morgan page. So again, you guys, we do apologize. There's technical difficulties with just human technology, you guys. And so let's see what we've got here. I'm not even seeing it on this page here. Are you seeing it from my channel, honey?
Let me look right now.
Okay, I do see it right now. Okay, let's
see it.
I think I'm seeing it. And you guys, again, I do apologize. We're going to get right back on.
Yes.
And we are jumping on right now. So let's see what we can do here. Because, and I know it was storming earlier, but it's not storming now. So I'm not sure if that had something to do with it, you guys.
Right.
But if it did, we do apologize, and we're going to get us back on track, and we're going to go ahead and finish this conversation for tonight. And we still got a lot of show left, so don't go nowhere, you guys. And so we just want to make sure that you guys are hearing us loud and clear. And I'm not seeing it just yet, so I'm going to keep doing what I got to do to make sure that this comes in loud and clear. Let's see what we got here, you guys. Stay with us, stay with us. Let's see where we are. And let's see, come on, you guys. It's live now. Okay, we're gonna make that public. And for my people that are on YouTube and Twitter, I do apologize. Hopefully you guys can hear us loud and clear. Get your people back on. We're going to finish this out, you guys. And so don't go nowhere again. We do apologize that we had to glitch off online just now. And so we're going to be heading back. And then, like I said, we're going to share it back on our Living More with the Morgans page. And so you guys that were tuning in on our Living More with the Morgans page, you can go back there and you can watch it right now. So here we go. Let's make sure that we're on. And how's everything looking on your end, honey?
It is. It's looking great.
We're looking good? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, you guys. And so I think we're back on. Let us know that you're back on. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know that you're back on, that you can hear us loud and clear. Papa says that we are live and we are good.
And thank you for checking
our
on
sister
us.
Comfort is in the building as well, and she said we can hear you guys.
Thank you.
What we're going to do, you guys, when that happens, and it has happened before and a couple of times, it's not by our fault, of course. It's just technology, or things kind of glitch out every now and then. The Wi-Fi connection is even strong, but for whatever reason, something will happen with the software, and that's why we need our own stuff, y'all. We need our own stuff. But when that does happen, what I tend to do is I'll merge the first video with the second video.
Yes.
So I'll merge both videos together, and then I'll repost them on our Facebook page, and I'll repost them on our YouTube channel. So you'll be able to go back and watch one full video of the entire broadcast from part one, if you will, to part two, what we're airing right now.
Right.
And it'll be just one full video. Is that cool?
That's cool.
That's cool. Okay, we're
cool.
going to keep this party rolling, you guys. And so come back in, share back on your wall.
Yes,
let us know that
do.
you're in. Our son all the way in Abuja, Nigeria is back on with us. Joshua Abanga is in the building. So thank you guys so much. Come on back in, you guys. Come on in. We're going to finish the conversation because this is a good one tonight.
Yes.
And so, you guys, what we're talking about tonight is our show called Creative Chaos. And what we're saying is, you know, when you have two polar opposites, you have a creative person, you have an entrepreneurial person who may be more loosey-goosey. They may not necessarily be structured and organized as a person who is.
Right.
Then there can be some chaos that ensues within that relationship.
That's right. Absolutely. And it does happen.
Yes.
It does. If there's not communication and there's not an understanding that you're two different people You know, like you said, you're creative. I am more of the corporate slash athlete, but corporate person, excuse me. And we are more structured. You know, athletes are more structured. We know how to, you know, we're team players. We know how to be on a team and all of that. So it does come with a learning curve. We've had to learn. Even though this month is our anniversary, 9 years, we're still learning.
Still learning.
Still learning. We're still learning how to not allow so much of my personality to be too much in the marriage, and the same with you when it comes to your personality and your creative mind as well.
And one thing I was sharing before we went off the air briefly was that what I would suggest to a lot of creatives that are out there, whether you're into music or whether you're into songwriting, writing books, whatever it is that you're into creatively, performing arts, make sure that you learn the business side of it as well. Because if not, things are going to be even more chaotic. And the business side allows you to be able to monetize your gift. The Bible says your gift will make room for you, right? But if you don't compartmentalize those rooms, then you're going to have junk all over the place. Right? Creative junk is going to be all over the place, but you have to be able to organize it. Business allows you or teaches you how to organize your creativity so that it is not just making money for you, but is becoming profitable, and you're able to monetize it and monitor it. What do I mean by monitor it? You're able to put it out there to see who's enjoying what it is that you bring to the world, right? So you want to get structure and learn structure from business along with your creativity that that you're giving to the world.
That's good.
And so, and that's just a little side note, but I wanted to share that because oftentimes we as creatives, we're not that, right? Like you said, as an athlete, you guys learn to be team players in Pee Wee League. Right? You guys are learning uniformity by putting on your uniforms, your pads, all the different things that come with your uniform to play the game. You guys are learning that, from the get-go. Most creatives, most artsy people, most artists, excuse me, I can't talk. Artists don't learn that necessarily until we get into more organized, structured things like choirs or bands, or when we get into school and we get marching band and different things like that. Then we start learning organization, learning to be on time for practice and all those different things. But oftentimes, because inspiration can come at the spur of a moment, we as creatives are not innately as organized as you guys.
Right.
Okay.
And that's true.
And so what it takes in a relationship, in a marriage, is going to take some patience. Right?
Very much so.
It's going to take patience, because what's normal to me being loosey-goosey, because I'm comfortable in that, and I get inspiration in that, can be a nightmare for her.
Yes,
because
true.
she's structured and she has timelines and she has guidelines and she wants to do this and she wants to make a decision easily. When we talk about this all the time, when we want to get something to eat.
Oh God, help me.
We want to get something to eat, and my wife was like, "Babe, pick something to eat," and it, and it's like, I don't care. I said, I don't care, whatever you want to pick. Right?
That's not true, though.
But no, it's not true. Because then she'll throw out some choices, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. No, that ain't good. No.
You know what I have actually done, because he is indecisive, and again, this is part of us trying to work through that and everything. He's indecisive. If I'm making dinner, I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna have salmon. I don't want that. I said, okay, but you told me initially, whatever you want, just make it. I make it. His lips is stuck out. So you see the big lip he got. His lips are stuck out, and he's so indecisive, and it irritates me. And we're being honest, it irritates me. And I'm like, my God, husband, make a decision. We're just having food. We're not getting ready to sign a paper for Congress, or we're not getting ready to sign a treaty.
Whatever.
We're just trying to find something healthy to eat. And that's the thing.
But my thing is, okay, if you already know where there's something healthy to eat that you know that I would like, because you know what I don't like, then just pick that.
And see, sometimes I'm trying to, and another thing about creatives, they're a creature of habit.
Yeah.
Okay?
We are.
They do not like, they'll go to the same thing. Okay? It might be this week they had it, next week they might have the same food.
Right.
I'm always trying to introduce something new. So him as a creative, new is not good. Yes, we've traveled. I know you're asking, but you guys have traveled the world. We have.
Right.
But my husband will look, we've gone to Japan and looking for a McDonald's. Why are we at McDonald's? We just want to try the food. No. You're a creature of habit.
Because they eat snails and octopus
No, they
in
don't.
Japan.
No,
I
they
don't
don't.
want a snail sandwich.
Don't say that,
I
because
don't
you
want
know
an
we have
octopus
friends there.
I don't want an octopus fillet in Japan. I want something that is familiar. And shout out to Japan, because Japan got some dope food.
Japan is a Michelin 5-star.
Yeah, absolutely. They're everywhere.
It's
But the thing of it is, it's like, and like you said, as creatives,
Yeah.
we are comfortable
Too
because
comfortable.
because we have our
safety net. It's
our
like
safeties.
a safety.
Yeah. We have our security blanket.
Sure, that's
right?
a great word.
We know what works for us. It's like
Right.
a painter. A painter knows which kind of canvas he wants to paint on.
Right.
He knows what kind of brushes he wants to use. He
Yeah.
knows what colors to use to mix the kind of colors that the different hues that he wants. So don't throw him off with what is comfortable with him to be able to create. And that's a tough thing to do with any kind of creative.
But see, the thing is that even as a creative, you would think that, let me try something new in this creation, in what I'm trying to create. Maybe not use the brown brush today. I'll use the yellow brush.
Right.
You know,
And we do get that. We do get that. But
it's
something
very hard.
it's hard, but there has to be something that inspires us to do that new thing. Right? It's like
Yeah.
we know we can do that, but there has to be something that pricks us on the inside creatively that says, why don't I try that broad brush instead of the thin brush?
Sure.
Why don't I try this hue of purple instead of the purple that I usually use?
Right.
And so even when you get down to entrepreneurship, which is a whole nother animal, you start conforming to different systems that you know.
Yeah.
Different systems that work and that used to work.
There you go.
That used to work.
Yeah.
And so you'll find that as an entrepreneur, as an analytical thinker, you'll find that what used to work 5, 10, 15 years ago, or even 5 months ago, doesn't work now. And so when you're in a relationship with someone who is an entrepreneur, who is a creative, if they tend to get stuck on what used to work, it's hard pulling them away from that.
It's very hard, and it's hard, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you see, on down the road where sometimes they don't. They see at the moment.
Yeah.
And me, because of, again, not only because I'm an athlete and I'm in the corporate world, but my father and my parents taught me that.
Yeah.
They taught us to see on down the road, not just what you have right now, the immediate. My dad would always say, saving for a rainy day.
Right.
Some people would not do that. They would just say, oh, I'm just living for today. But because I have that type of mindset, I always think to myself that when I get in something, and if I try something new, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's go back to the drawing board. And that's me and his.
Yeah, and that's where we're so opposite, because you can easily, if it doesn't work, you can easily pick up and say, okay, well, it didn't work, and I'm gonna go to the next thing.
Right.
Me, as an artist, I internalize it.
Yeah.
I internalize it to the point, okay,
There's it can be dead.
something's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, what was wrong, or why did I fail at this?
Right. And see, that's the thing,
Because an artist is sensitive.
Sensitive.
One thing, there's a line, and I love this line. And if you guys,
Badu.
Erykah Badu, right? It's a song called Tyrone. And if you guys can check it out on YouTube, and she starts out the song, the band is kind of playing, the little melody, intro melody, and Erykah Badu says, she basically gives a disclaimer or a caveat, and she says, hey, you guys, Now, this is a brand new song,
Right.
and I'm sensitive about my music, right? She don't
Right.
use the word music, but she says, I'm sensitive about my music. I'm sensitive about my art.
Right.
So I want y'all to take it easy on me if it don't come across the way I would like it to come across, and y'all may not necessarily feel it the same way.
Right.
So as creatives, we're sensitive about the things that we put out and we put our hands to.
Right.
So we don't take failure easily,
No.
right?
But the thing is that because you don't see farther,
Right.
When you say failure, you immediately think failure right now,
Right.
and it's not, nothing can happen
Right.
after that,
Right.
and which is not true. And so that's what I'm having to teach you,
Right.
and show you that no, this is not a failure,
Yeah.
just because this didn't work this way.
Right.
All it means is that, hey, there's something else that we can do. There's another way that it can be done that would be effective, that will really work. So sometimes I think that, as a creative, I've seen that you get hung up so much on the fact of being sensitive towards that, and not looking at the fact that it doesn't mean that it is not going to work. But hey, push past the mindset of thinking that hey, I got to do it this way. It might not work, but push past that and say, well, wait a minute. What if it does?
That's good. That's good.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense. And it's funny because I remember in the preface video, the lingerie preface video I did back a couple years ago, and I had a young woman portray you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I couldn't.
You couldn't be in it.
Yeah, I'm an accountant.
Yeah, you were working at the time.
Yeah, I'm working.
And so I did this video, you guys, and it's on YouTube, and I may post it so you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But towards the end of the video, there's a scene in there where I've been writing these songs, right? And I'm laying on top of the bed with the woman who's portraying my wife.
Right.
And the young lady, shout out to Erin. I went to high school with her.
Yes, shout out to Erin.
And I'm writing these songs and I'm balling them up because I'm like, I can't stand what the lyrics that I'm writing. And I don't know who wrote this scene. I don't know if Erin did it or it just happened or if the director did. I can't remember how it happened. But I love at the end, I was mad and I was throwing these balls across a room of paper while I was writing these songs and they weren't coming to me. And in the scene, she takes one of the balls of paper and she unravels it.
Yes, she does.
And she starts reading it, and the look on her face is like, babe, this is brilliant. This is good. This is good. Keep going. And she shows it to me, and then I look at it, and I'm listening kind of what her perspective and her suggestions, and then we do that together, and it becomes something that you see my face kind of light up, and I say, well, maybe this is good.
Right.
And so you're right, and I said that to say that we as creatives, we definitely need the patience.
Absolutely.
And the encouragement.
Yes.
We need the encouragement. And
That's
so
so
anybody who is dating a creative, make sure that you have ample amounts of patience for that person. Because one, we tend to be moody.
Yes.
Two, we tend to be very sensitive about what it is that we're creating or our business or whatever it is that we have our hands to.
Right.
And so you definitely want to have patience. And then I would tell the creative as well, you have to, it can't be all about you.
No.
You dig? It can't be all about you and what it is that you're creating.
That's right.
Because you have to be able to find balance in the thing that you're focusing on.
Right. Right.
Right?
That's
Every
right.
now and then, you've got to refocus your lens to take it off of the things that you're so focused on as a creative.
That's right.
And then see the background picture that comes with it. And that background is most likely the person who is not necessarily the creative in the relationship.
That's right.
And so you've got to refocus your lens a bit so that you see your spouse as much as you see your art.
Right.
As much as you see your business.
And honestly, we struggled a lot with this.
Yeah.
And we do sometimes still.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't say that my husband is who he is in this generation because I'm just saying that. I live with him. I've known him now for 18, 19 years. And he is a creative. He is truly a creative. But there has been some conflict in our marriage. It has been conflict even in business at times when I'm trying to get my husband to shift and to see a different perspective on business, a different perspective on our marriage. Sometimes, you know, as creatives too, I've noticed that in our marriage that sometimes they have to be reminded to pull back in and come and spend time with your spouse.
Yeah.
You know, I remember earlier times, a lot better now, a whole lot better. But my husband would, you know, we would have our home office, and just like we have one now, and he would be so accustomed to going into the office and shutting the door. I hated that because it made me feel like I was closed out. You know, it made me feel like, you know, you're not important. I don't have time for you right now. My creative juices are flowing. I'm in here with this. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to create whatever, or I'm trying to write down this. He even does that when he's texting someone or he's on the, you know, emailing someone. I've started to learn that. Wait, give him time to finish that, because I always say, oh, you're texting or you're emailing someone. Let me give you time, because he's immersed. There can be bombs going off. He's not going to hear those bombs. He's he's immersed in it. But that is who he is. And so I had to learn how to wait a minute, give him space, give him time. I said, honey, I'll tell you this after. It's not urgent. We'll talk afterwards after you finich. You have to learn. You have to learn.
And
that.
we had to learn that because she's absolutely right. Early on in our relationship, I was so used when I was single, I was so used to, even in my apartment by myself, I could close my door and just create.
Yes.
Right. I have my music, I have my speakers going, I have my programs going, and I'm creating music, and I'm in my zone. And I could do that till 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning with 1 hour of sleep and get up the next morning and do it all over again.
Right.
That was no problem for me. I had to learn that in marriage, I got someone else that I'm sharing this home with, that I'm sharing my life with. And so it took me a while. It took me a while to understand that. And again, to take the lens off of the thing that I'm always focused on and focus on her as well, and be able to balance that out. But one thing that you said, honey, that I love that you did is that you were patient in that. And you would voice your disdain. You would voice, you know, we'd have some loud fellowship for sure enough. But even in that, there was patience and there was love enough to say, he's not doing this against me. He's doing what he's always known.
Yes.
Single Landa, married Landa. He's doing what he's always known as a creative, as an artist, so forth.
And you have to have the patience with them. If you love that person, you have to have the patience with them to coach them through it.
Yeah.
Coach them to see a different perspective, to see, wait a minute, too much time is being spent here, and there is a deficit over here.
Wow.
And so we had to learn that, because even with me, excuse me, I would tell him, you know, when I was single, being at the gym 2-3 hours, no big deal for me, because that's my second home. You know, I could go to the gym and be there for hours. But I know that once I got married, that wasn't something that I should be doing. You know, there's other things that we had to do. So I needed to know how to balance, as well as he did, how to balance things out. Because if you don't learn how to balance things out, there's going to be issues that you're going to have to tackle, either in the immediate or in the long run.
And the thing of it is, you better tackle it now and immediately, before it festers over a period of time. Right. And so you don't want that frustration and that impatience to turn into what we're calling creative chaos. Because it definitely can, you guys. And so I just want to shout out real quick to some people who have logged on with us. We got our man Apostle Larry Peters is in the building. He says, hey fam, what's going on, you guys? Shout out to the Peters, and they've been praying for us. And they've been
so much.
Totally in our corner, calling, checking on us. And so We love you guys, and thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
tuning in
much.
tonight. My man Cedric Brown is in the building, man. I need you to say something, bro. He just logged in, and so he is on the broadcast. Ashley is back on. My man Kevin is on. Kevin Ahuma is on, along with his lovely wife Angel.
Thank you,
and
guys.
they are in the building right now. And he said,
are.
mindset strategy, great PowerPoint. Shout out to you, fam. Thank you so much. And
love you guys.
Love you guys, absolutely.
Yes.
And so, again, for those who are just now coming in, we're talking about tonight's episode is called Creative Chaos.
Yes.
And we're talking about the two polar opposites that can be in a relationship with a person who is the analytical thinker, the weirdo, the creative, the artsy artist one, the one that's not necessarily as organized. And you're talking about, I call them corporates, more structured, more by the rule books, the color within the lines and so forth. They're punctual, they're on time, they need things done a specific certain way, their way. And so we're talking about that because, like I said, if you don't have communication early on in the relationship, whether you're dating or whether you get married, if you don't have that communication, man, it's going to turn ugly, and it can turn ugly fast. And I know we had some bumps because of that. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you said earlier, honey, when you talked about how I would just go into the office, the home office, and I would shut the door, mm-hmm. and you felt that was me tuning you out.
Yeah, shutting me out.
And shutting you out and not including you.
Right.
But like I said, that was Landa even before you came into the picture.
It was.
That was Landa, creative, single.
Yeah.
This is how I create. This is who I am.
And let me say something in that. You're absolutely right. And sometimes when we get married to the people, and we see a side of them that you think, oh, okay, well, they'll pass. Once we get married, all of that'll be, that won't happen anymore. Mm-mm. Don't ever think that.
No.
Make sure that once you see some things that may be something that may be of concern to you, maybe, voice it before you get married.
Right.
Make sure you put everything out on the table and talk about the things that you've saw. Maybe like with you being a creative and shutting the door and tuning everything and everyone out. Things like making a choice about a meal and stuff like that, even though we laughed about it earlier, but that can be some things that can really hurt your marriage, because it gets to the point where you just start thinking, hey, this person is going to be just like me. They're gonna understand. They're gonna rock with it. They're gonna ride with it. It's gonna be all gravy. No, it's not. No. Because when you start seeing someone that is more focused on themselves or more focused on their creativity, and they don't have a balance, and they don't know that they are not doing that, then you're going to have some issues that you're going to have to tackle. Absolutely. And it's going to be something that could, potentially cause, some splits, because we've known some people that they're not together now, because of some things that they didn't discuss initially in the dating process. And I must urge those who are dating and those who are talking about marriage, please do not have surface talk.
Mm-hmm. Go in deep.
Go in deep.
Yeah.
And if that deep scares someone off, then that person wasn't for you.
Right.
Go in deep. Get an understanding. Even the Bible says, and all that getting an understanding.
Right.
So you'll know who you're potentially going to be married to. Mm-hmm. You'll know how to handle, certain things that may come, or things that may arise, or can they handle things?
Right.
So you need to have these crucial discussions early.
Right. Because and the thing about, and my wife is a big stickler about communication.
I am.
And our relationships are deteriorating. A lot of them, even Christian marriages, those people of faith, their marriages are deteriorating because we're not communicating. Right. And we're not going in deep, and we're having these surface conversations, and we're infatuated with, how fine she is, and how big her booty is, and how he got a 6-pack, and he got a job, and he driving the Bentley. We're so in love with this outside stuff, but when we get married, these are the kind of things that come out.
Right, and life happens.
And life starts happening.
Right.
And so you better know what kind of person do you have? Do you have a surface person, or do you have somebody who's going to be an anchor? So when life starts tossing that boat back and forth in them wavy waters, do you have someone who's going to drop that anchor and saying, "Yo, I ain't going nowhere. I'm here.
Right.
I'm here for the long run."
Right.
And even as an artist, even with someone who may not necessarily be as structured as your spouse, one of the things I know I had to do is I had to learn how that affected you.
Yeah.
And I had to care enough to change.
Yes.
Because
That's
I can,
the word.
right? I can be selfish and be like, well, okay, well, you got to get with my program then because I was like this before I met you.
Right.
No, because now that we're one,
Right.
now that we're together,
Right.
I know that my lack of understanding what it is that you need is breaking down and deteriorating our marriage, and that's what I don't want.
Right.
Because when I asked you to marry me,
Yeah, you do.
you dig what I'm saying? And so, fellas, if you're asking the woman to marry you and you're that creative, then you got to understand that, yes, you're bringing her into your world, but you also got to understand that she has a world too.
Right.
And she has a life too.
Right.
And she has things that she needs from you. And so one of the things that I learned from that, and I'm still learning, was how to include you into my creative process.
Yes.
And so now when I'm doing something, I'm coming to you. Hey, babe, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
You know, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
What would you want me to do different? What do you hear on this?
Right.
How do you think I should do this and this?
Yeah.
And then we become a team on a thing.
There you go.
Then rather than just inclusive than
Yeah.
just being the lone ranger on the thing
That's
that I'm accustomed to doing years before I even met you.
Right.
Right.
And I remember one time, and you that was so beautiful that what you said, because I remember one time I was talking to you about we were dating, and I said something to you in effect of I'm not getting enough time, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you was like, I'm a creative. This is I mean, I'm about business. This is what I'm about. And I was like, ugh, is that going to be something that's going to be, something that's going to be in the way if we decide to get married? We weren't even talking about marriage at that time.
Right.
So, but he was right. He started to realize that me being a creative, being in the shell all the time, and sometimes being selfish, really,
Yeah.
that I can't continue to do this because this is not good for my marriage.
Right.
This is not good for my wife. This is not good for me. And this is not good for our home.
Right.
So we had to both, like I've said, you have to have the patience. And when he is creating, and my husband, what he does, as far as even in our company Infusion, and him being the lead designer, what he does and how he includes me, in that process makes me feel included. It makes me feel a part of him and his world. And when I tell him, babe, that's exceptional, sometimes I have to say it several times, because he might have a day where, because he's a creative, they're very sensitive. And he might have a day where he feels like, I'm not enough today, or this didn't work yesterday, and then this is not looking like it's working today.
Right.
So I have to be that woman or that wife that comes, or the husband, if your wife is a creative, and say, wait, babe, this is great. Right. Really encourage and undergird them in that area so that they'll know that, look, it's not a loss. Right. You still got it. It's just that particular day, it happened. Right. Let's move forward.
And I think what helps me as a creative is knowing that I have that.
Yeah.
Knowing that I have that person who is that, again, that anchor for me. She is that straight-laced. She's the person where I don't need her to be the creative, right? Sometimes I need her to be the audience. Yeah. Sometimes I need her to be the taste tester. I can be in the kitchen cooking something up. I just, as the chef, and I'm putting all these ingredients in something, and I just need her to taste it and let me know with her honest opinion, right. Babe, you just need a little bit more salt. Right. You just need some more fat back in it. You ain't, you ain't hitting it with this. So that's and that's what we had to learn that we needed from each other.
We had to learn.
And we're still learning that,
yeah.
You guys. And so there's so much that goes into chaos, because chaos contains so many different elements of things that are going wrong. And what we're talking about tonight is, I think it's important, it's vital, because there is some kind of creativity in every couple. Somebody has it in there. Somebody has it more than the other person.
Yes.
Somebody is the entrepreneur.
Yes.
And as the entrepreneur or the visionary, somebody is saying, hey, I'm not going to be the guy or the woman that's going to be on the couch going to work from 9 to 5 and coming home. No, my life is going to be staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning behind the computer, working this out, building this, coming up with formulas, coming up with strategies, writing business plans, writing XYZ. So if you're married to that, or if you're looking to date that, be sure that you guys are having these kinds of conversations, because my wife will tell you, it's no problem for me to stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's no problem. No problem. But what she hit me to were things that I didn't think about, which is what was my health. Because as when I was younger, before I even met her, I was used to doing that. I was used to being in the studio 2, 3 o'clock. And all my musicians can understand. My man Cedric, I know you can understand that. It's being in the studio at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's when it get good. Yeah. It don't start bumping, and you don't start getting that creativity till like 3 o'clock in the morning when it's jamming to you. And so it was nothing for me. And so I brought that into our marriage. Yes. And thinking it would be cool to do that, not knowing that, oh, guess what? I'm not in the bed with my wife at 3 o'clock in the morning. And she wants me in the bed with her at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I had to learn, oh, I need some balance here. I need to give her that affection and that attention tonight, rather than giving this rolling and these drums and these keyboards and these beat machines and all this different stuff, the attention that my wife needs tonight. Because again, this is my wife now. Right. We're one now. Right. Or you know what, I need to get off the computer and stop writing this business plan, or stop writing this book, or stop writing on my blog, or stop, creating these videos, and let me get in here and give some attention to my wife. Right. And then she understands the days when I do need to give and devote attention to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on this project. Right. She gets that. Right. And so our love language and our communication, we start kind of figuring each other out. Mm-hmm. Over time, you start kind of, the body language tells you, okay, this is a night where babe needs his creative juices are going. Right. I'll see you in the morning, babe. And she'll come in there, kiss me on the forehead, give me a good night kiss. You gonna be up tonight, babe? Yeah, I'm gonna be up tonight. I gotta work on this. Okay, baby, I'll see you in the morning. Yes. When you coming to bed, how long you think you coming to bed? Oh, baby, it'll be another about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever. Okay, honey, I'll see you in the morning. Yeah. Give me a good night kiss, and I'm in the bed. Right. But we had to learn to get there. Yes. It didn't happen overnight, because I had to learn that we're still one, even with creating, even with the businesses, even with the companies, even with clients overseas, and in different time zones. And we're having, while it's nighttime here, we got clients in Africa and Europe that are up over there. So those are different things that we had to work out. Right. And we're still having to work out.
And you're gonna always, again, this is our anniversary month, 9 years. You're always going to trying to figure out each other. My mom and dad been married 62 years. Mm-hmm. They still doing it.
Still figuring out.
They still figuring out. Yeah. That's just part of it. But you know what? That's the fun part of it too. Yes. If you don't allow it to be something that will be in the way, and not try to say, hey, baby, let's figure these things out together, And again, when I do leave him at that time in the morning, I, as a wife and as a woman of God, I'm praying for him, because I'm praying for his health. I'm praying that whatever creativity that he has at that time, that God downloads it to him. We as women, wives, we have a responsibility too. Okay, I go to bed, but I'm just not going to bed. God, download that in him. Give him vision, give him clarity, give him understanding. Right. You understand? So that he will get what he needs, and at the same time, speak to his heart and tell him when he needs to rest. Right. And
I love that you said that, because fellas, we know we need that. We need that. That the wife is the equalizer. Yeah. Right? She's balancing everything out with you in mind. A lot of times we're doing, not necessarily thinking even about ourselves.
Right.
We're thinking about our wives, we're thinking about the kids, we're thinking about the household and everything, because that's what we do. We're protectors, we're builders, we're providers. We do all that. But sometimes we don't even think about ourselves.
Yes.
And so the wife is the equalizer, where she's back there praying. She's back there, hey, baby, can I bring you something to eat? Do you need a snack? Do you need something to drink? Don't be up too late. Or if you do this, X, Y, Z, yada, yada, yada. Make sure you get some rest. She's that equalizer.
Right.
And so I know for me, because I honor that and I appreciate that even more so now, and I appreciate that she's looking out for my health. I appreciate that she's wanting me to get more rest and more sleep. I'm gonna say this though, and we're gonna cut into a quick commercial. We're gonna come back. I want to say this to all my entrepreneurs and creatives. And I'm gonna say something that's probably controversial that some people may not necessarily agree with me on, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Do not adopt this mentality that the world has, where you work, and you don't need no sleep.
Yes.
Because I've heard celebrities say that, respected celebrities that I admire, that have said, oh, I can sleep later. Or I can sleep when I'm dead. Be careful what you're saying, right? Because you might not necessarily be able to enjoy all the fruit of your labor, because you will be dead from not
So
getting
true.
the proper rest that you need,
Right.
especially as a creative, especially as an entrepreneur or a business owner. You need your rest. The body was made to rest. Even God rested on the seventh day. If God can chill out and say, yo, he looked at everything he made and said, yo, this is dope.
Right.
I'm chilling the seventh day. I ain't doing jack.
Right.
If God can say that, then he has created our bodies to be able to do the same thing.
Because if God gave it to you, if he gave you the vision, the gift, whatever it is, if he gave it to you, going to sleep don't mean he gonna say, I ain't gonna give it to you now because you sleep.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
And again, those celebrities that were saying that doesn't make sense, because some of those that have right now, they're dealing with some health issues right now. Right
Exactly.
now. And the reason, another thing that I have to say about creatives, and this is true, you need exercise. You need good, vigorous exercise. It is good for your creative mind, your creative juices. It is good to help you to have balance. Okay,
Right.
it'll help you to have strength to be able to do the things you do. It really does help.
And it helps with the endorphins in your
Endorphins.
mind
I was
and your
just getting
body,
ready
all
to
those
say
different
that.
things.
Yeah.
It helps with the creative process.
It does.
So when I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, no, I just need to go, I need 2 hours of sleep and I'm good, you're depriving yourself of more creativity.
Yeah.
Your tank could be filled.
Yes.
Even with
Yes.
more creativity, even more dope stuff that you could be coming up with, that God is depositing in you.
Yes.
But guess what? You're shortening
That's
that
right.
because you're saying you're adopting this world mentality that says, "Oh no, fam, I'm good. I just need an hour, 2 hours of sleep, and I gotta be on my grind." The world grinds. All grind is
a
a
hustle.
new age word for toil.
Toil. Yeah.
Toil and hustle.
Yeah. God don't want us
Ain't
to
nowhere
do
in
that.
scripture where God wants us to toil and hustle.
No.
No, we work. There is work.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
if all you're going to do is grind, I'm on my grind, we glorify that over here. And you're grinding your body to death.
Right.
You're grinding your days down.
Right.
And so
And that's something you had to learn.
I had to learn it. And I'm now coming out of certain health issues that I've had because of I'm learning, man, exercise is better for me.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I met my wife, and I can share this now. I met my wife and I was skinny.
Yeah.
I was bone skinny. My wife used to, just to tease me for how skinny I was when she used to lay on my chest or something, and how
Yes.
bony I was. And so I started putting on weight and stuff because of the stress of the world, hearing what people are saying. Oh man, I got to be up till 5 o'clock in the morning and doing this and eating bad, eating
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Your father passed.
Yeah, Taco Hell at 3 o'clock in the morning. My
Yeah.
father passing,
Yes.
taking on that stress, taking on all these different things, trying to be there for my family and all this stuff. And so I'm carrying the weight of the world. And at the same time, I'm grinding. I'm trying to build this. I'm trying to get this going. I'm trying to create this. And all the while, my body is suffering.
Yeah.
And that's why I needed my wife to come in and be that equalizer to say, yeah, babe, I know you're going after this, and I know God has given you this, and I know you got a prophecy over your life, and I know you got a prophetic word in your mouth, and I know God's going to do this and this and this and that. But God also wants you to rest.
Right.
Because he needs your body to do all the work.
That's the word.
That the creativity is supposed to flow through.
That's the word.
So if you got all this creativity but no body to do it through, then guess what? You forfeited what God gave you the creativity for in the first place.
We have to be very mindful of that. Again, I'm gonna reiterate what my husband said. Don't take on the mentality of the world.
Right, man.
Because if you do, the world will eat you up and spit you out.
Right.
God says, if I gave you that gift, that gift will make room for you. But as you said, you have to be mindful. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yes.
He comes in to tell you, oh, don't worry about it. Stay up all night. Oh, it ain't gonna bother you. It's not gonna hurt you. Do you know how many people I've met during the time my mom been in the hospital that are young people that have had strokes? They're 40 years old and under. People who have checked out of here, they have seen the suicide rate go up tremendously because people are trying to outdo other people or what the world has said, and oh, I need to be this at this age, I need to be a billionaire. At this age, I need to be a millionaire. All this stuff, and it means nothing. It means nothing. If you're not here to see it, if you're not here to be in it, if you're not here to do what it is God called you to do in it, then it's null and void.
It's null and void. It's null and void.
It makes no sense. So again, creatives, we're talking about this creative chaos. Learning how to balance your life, especially in your marriage. It is important because if you do not, as a creative, if you are one, and then you are as a corporate person, you bring two worlds together and you don't get an understanding of those two worlds, you will have chaos.
Right.
And there's many people that are in the kingdom, and we call kingdom now, we're talking about this more, that are divorced because they did not address those issues.
Absolutely.
Either they were a creative or a minister or whatever.
Right.
You have to make sure there's balance, and you have to have the tough conversations that, hey, there's a deficit here. Let's find the deficit.
Yes.
Not at that person. Okay, that where, oh, I'm the problem. No, not that. But let us find out what it is that we need to do to balance this thing out.
Absolutely. Very well said. And before we take a quick break, you guys, we're going to come back. Don't go nowhere because we still got more left in the show. I just want to give a shout out to some people that jumped on. My man, Leneric Morgan, no relation, but it is my bro. Leneric School Morgan is in the building. Husband of Omega Morgan.
Yes.
He is in the building. Apostle Dwayne Murphy, all the way in H-Town, is in the building. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you, Apostle.
Ada is in the building as
Hey,
well.
sis,
She
congratulations.
is in. Absolutely. She says, greetings, my beloved fam. I miss you guys.
Oh, we miss you.
And she had a
too.
couple of things. She said, even Jesus rested. He would retreat
on,
and go to the
sis.
mountains and get away from everybody.
Everything.
Yep.
Everybody.
So we must rest. And so many people are killing themselves with work, and when they die, someone else will enjoy their riches that they killed themselves. Man, that's it. You own it.
You own it.
This is why so many people are dealing with mental health issues.
Absolutely.
And they're on all kinds of depression medication and sleep meds because they don't rest. Absolutely said. My man, Apostle
Perfectly
Larry said
said.
it's all for nothing without balance. And so
It's
you guys
all
are
for
absolutely
nothing.
right. And so to my creatives, entrepreneurs, and to those who love them and are married to them, understand, y'all, we cannot adopt every worldly mindset and mentality. It is killing us. It's killing them.
It's killing them.
It's killing them, y'all.
Yeah.
And so we can't look at the fame and the money and the wealth and all this different stuff that they quote unquote have.
Right.
And look, one of my favorite comedians was Robin Williams. And we don't know what Robin Williams was dealing with, to the point to where he killed himself. He took himself out of here with kids and a wife left here.
Yeah.
And so many other people are doing that. And so that's the chaos that creativity can bring when there's no balance, when there's no equalizer, when there's no understanding of rest, when there's no understanding of, hey, I have to give this and get this back from you. There has to be some sense of reciprocity, some sense of healing. When I do create something and put it out, what am I giving myself to replenish that? And replenishing that is not hitting the bottle. Replenishing that is not, oh, let me hit this weed. No. I don't need to put anything foreign in my body to replenish the creativity that God has given us. Because if you're doing that to be creative, then it's not coming from God.
No.
Just sidebar on that. If you're having to put foreign substances inside of you in order to get God's creativity for the things that you're wanting to create, then it's not him. All you need is him. He doesn't need any additives or preservatives.
That's right.
I'm going to leave that.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, you guys. Don't go nowhere. We're just going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Living More with the Morgans. All right? Let's go.
Today, people and business owners have a ton of options to choose from. When it comes to web developers, graphic designers, social media marketing, branding, and the list goes on. And that might not be such a good thing. What if there was one company that you and your business could trust that could provide all these services at prices that won't eat up your business capital before it gets off the ground? From logo design, branding, custom website development, hosting, social media marketing, print media design, and more. Infusion does it all under one roof with a team of professionals that are just a phone call away. Infusion Design Solutions, the infusion of exceptional design and affordability. Visit us online at infusion.com.
Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Landis Ray Morgan, and I'm here with my beautiful wife.
Hello, I'm Rotunda Morgan.
And this is your official invitation to check out our new podcast, Living More with the Morgans, which airs every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern. You can check us out live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can connect with us on our Instagram and TikTok. More life, more love, there's more to explore on Living More with the Morgans. See you soon. All right, you guys, and we're back with Living More with the Morgans, and we're about to close out our show. And tonight you have been watching a show entitled Creative Chaos. And so again, we want to say thank you guys for chiming in, for sharing your comments, for sharing on your pages, sharing on your walls. If you haven't yet, you still can. And like I said, we're going to take part one. Due to the interruption, the glitch that happened, we're going to take part one of the broadcast and we're going to merge it with this part, and there's going to be one full long video that we're going to do the entire broadcast, and we share that on our official pages for Living More with the Morgans. And so you guys, we want to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure that you do. Go over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for more notifications, and we're trying to get it up. I think right now we're at 84 subscribers on our YouTube channel. It's brand new, you guys. And so let's hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. Tell your people, tell your friends, hit Living More with the Morgans up on YouTube, and let's get that number up, you guys. And so again, we're talking creative chaos. And before we get out of here, we just want to say that think about when you drive down the street and you see a construction site for a brand new building going up. Maybe it's a brand new mansion in a nicely manicured neighborhood. And you see bricks and you see dust and you see concrete all over the place. And everything looks so chaotic. And you see it for weeks and weeks on end, and you're like, okay, I'm not seeing a lot of people on the job site, and I'm not seeing any construction going on, but there's bricks and there's stuff that's going on, because you can see that something's being built there. It's either a brand new building or a brand new house or whatever. Sometimes what you had in mind early on is going to look like that construction site.
That's good, right?
Sometimes it's going to look like creative chaos. Sometimes it's going to look like things are all over the place and things are discombobulated and things are unorganized and this is over here and this is thrown over here. But you know what? If you look in scripture in Genesis 1, When God was creating the heavens and the earth and all these different things that he was creating, the earth was without form.
Yeah.
There were no trees, there was no greenery, there was no sunlight, there was nothing. None of that stuff was in place. It was dark, it was ugly, there was no life forms. Everything looked like chaos. The land was not separated from the sea and all this different stuff. God was creating something. He was doing something. He had something in mind. He didn't create everything in one day. Even God didn't create everything in one day.
Right.
So you're not going to create that marriage in heaven in one day or in 1 year or in 2 years.
Right.
It's going to take some time. So right now, you may have some creative chaos, and that's okay, as long as somebody in the relationship is the architect. As long as somebody in there has a plan and a strategy. Amidst all of the chaos and everything being all over the place,
right.
Somebody has the plan. And if both of y'all have a plan, even better.
Right.
If both of y'all can look at the chaos and say, you know what, we know that at this time, this is going to be a beautiful mansion. This is going to be a beautiful home that people are going to be invited in and people are going to feel welcome in, and it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be opulent and it's going to be sophisticated and it's going to be warm and cozy. It may look like chaos right now, but if you have a plan, and if that architect is in communication with those contractors and those builders, and they know what to do with those bricks, and they know what to do with that concrete, and they know what to do with that mortar, and they know what to do with those hammer and nails, then I guarantee you, if you stick in there for the long haul, you're going to see something beautiful being built.
That's so good.
But all of it comes with knowing that even though we got some chaos right now, if we got a plan, if we got to, because if you judge God on day one by how the universes were going to look, you would say, God, that show is ugly. You would say that. If you were there when God was building everything and creating the heavens and the earth, you would have been like, yo, this looks like crap. What is God making? But he knows.
He does.
And he knew what it was going to look like on day 6 when he finished, so that he could rest on day 7. If you and your spouse, or you and the person that you're dating, have a vision for the future of what that thing can look like, it may start out a little chaotic. It may start out where you need to communicate a little bit more, or you need to give and take, or you need to, have more understanding, or you need to have more patience, or you need to have more this and more love in this. Then you're going to look up, and over time, you're going to see the thing that you guys started out to build. It's going to be beautiful.
Coming together.
It's going to start coming together, and it's going to be beautiful. Is that okay?
That's okay.
That's what's up. And so you guys, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us on Living More with the Morgans.
It's a pleasure to be back.
Absolutely. Baby, it's good sitting in this chair next to you.
Thank you. Same here.
And we always have fun.
Yes.
And so you guys, until next Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on all of our social media pages for Living More with the Morgans. Again, if you're on YouTube, youtube.com/Living More Morgans. Twitter, Live More Morgans. If you're on here on Facebook, facebook.com/Living More Morgans. If you're on Instagram, Living More Morgans. And on TikTok, Living More Morgans. We want to see you guys on our social media pages.
Yes.
We've got some great content that's coming up there. New stuff, new exclusive stuff that you won't find anywhere else. Also, our website is coming, you guys.
It is.
Living More with the Morgans. Yes, you can go there right now, but you won't see nothing on there. But the domain has been registered, livingmorewiththemorgans.com, and it is coming, you guys. We're going to have merchandise on there. We're going to have videos on there. We're going to have blog posts on there. You name it, we're going to have it. Why? Because we want to reach people and we want to make people better, because it's time to start living.
It is.
This is no time to be dying.
And giving up.
This is no time to give up.
Right.
This is no time to be planning no funerals, and certainly don't be planning your own funeral. You ain't going nowhere. You got life to do. You got more life to live and more love to give.
Yes.
So let's do it together.
And to get.
And to get. Let's do it together, you guys, right here. We're living more with the Morgans. We love you guys.
Love
Next
you
Tuesday night,
guys.
we'll be back.
Yes.
Have a good evening.
Have a great evening.